Sponge filters are great for small to medium-sized aquariums and work especially well in Neocaridina setups. The large sponge surface makes an amazing grazing area for shrimp, and baby shrimp benefit the most. The sponge also prevents them from being sucked in. If I were breeding a large shrimp colony, this is definitely the type of filter I'd go with. Now, if you're not a fan of having a sponge filter visible in your tank, a hang-on back or canister filter is another good option. About 99% of my aquariums run on hang-on back filters. I've always preferred them, and I can usually hide the intake tube within my aquascape. My 55-gallon aquarium, on the other hand, uses a canister filter, mainly because it provides a strong flow that my bamboo and vampire shrimp love, along with some of the fish in there. It also keeps the water highly oxygenated, which these two shrimp species and my Borneo and Hillstream Loaches really depend on. The one thing you have to be careful with these two types of filters is the intake tube. Always cover it with a pre-filter sponge, otherwise, baby Neocaridina shrimp can easily get sucked in. Nycrew's nano filter comes with one by default, and Fluval's new AquaClear models now include them as well. If you have an older AquaClear model, the new pre-filter sponges will still fit perfectly. I'm currently using them on my AquaClear 50s and will be adding one soon to my AquaClear 20. And if you're using a canister filter, you may need to wrap the intake tube with some sponge of your own, just to be safe. One quick rule of thumb: clean water is good, but sterile water, where the environment is stripped of all beneficial microbes and diversity, can actually be harmful. It's possible to overfilter an aquarium, especially if you keep bamboo or vampire shrimp. These filter feeders rely on fine particles and microorganisms suspended in the water column. If you're using very fine filter media, it can strip out those edible particles before your shrimp ever get to them. So while clean water is important, you don't want it to be too clean. A bit of natural debris in the water is actually a sign of a healthy, balanced tank. Now, there are some of you who might want to try a filterless setup, and that's totally viable. In this case, you can use an air stone to help agitate the water surface, where gas exchange takes place. This is where carbon dioxide exits the water and oxygen enters. Just a quick note, those bubbles you see rising from the air stone aren't what oxygenates the water. It's the surface agitation that does the oxygenation. You can also skip the air stone completely and rely on your plants to handle the filtration, but this method takes a bit more experience. You'll need to research it carefully to make sure your setup can support enough oxygen, otherwise you might run into issues over time. If you're going this route, think of plants as your silent filter. Beautiful, but only if balanced properly.